Hello and welcome to In Conversation. I'm Dapewa, your host. Today we're joined by an exceptional student leader and high achiever from the University of Johannesburg's Department of Accountancy. Lisakhanya Mkhwambi has completed his degree with an impressive 82% overall average and distinctions in 24 out of 28 modules. And beyond academics, he has done significant impact in student leadership, serving as a chairperson for Abasa UJ and currently as the Golden Key Vice President for UJ, where he continues to impact his fellow students. Lisakhanya, hi, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Right, we have met before, actually, right, at the launch of the Wiseman Kuhlu Center for Innovation, right, who I believe is the first Black Chartered Accountant.
Yes, correct.
So absolutely beautiful stuff, and I think that's where I first heard of Abasa, actually. And apparently you were also at TUT for the launch of our Vice Chancellor's Predator to Prey book. Why were you there?
I think I'm very interested in the book. If you read the book, I'm currently on the third chapter, but the first chapter it speaks more about collaboration, which I think is very important for young leaders to have that at the back of their mind.
100%, and how we connect with animals, I believe, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, so as I said, you have achieved 82% distinction, right, overall average, and you got 24 out of 28 distinctions, right? That is amazing, by the way. What motivated you to maintain such a high level of academic excellence throughout your studies?
I think firstly it's my mentor. So when I met my mentor in first year, he had just completed his undergrad. When I saw his academic record, he had gotten distinctions on all modules. So from first year to third year, he never missed a distinction. So I think I always had that at the back of my mind to say that is what I want to achieve. Then the second part is I think my mom. You know, my mom believes in me a lot. I think even in my first year, she had already mentioned that she thinks I'm going to graduate cum laude. And I think the other part is the fact that in high school, I was #1 in my grade 12. So I think I came in with that kind of motivation and I kept it from first year to.
That's great, because you know so many people are like, I used to be a high achiever in high school and then I got to uni, it showed me flames.
Yeah,
so that's beautiful that you were able to maintain that. And also, you know, when you're not doing accounting and you're not being, you know, the chairperson and the vice president, how do you, you know, unwind? How do you relax?
I think by reading. So I think I just mentioned that I think I unwind by reading. Currently I'm reading Prof's book actually, which is From Predator to Prey. I'm currently on the third chapter. I think I should have been in the 10th chapter, but I think because I'm trying to balance the two, like studying and reading. So.
Do you read like a lot of, you know, I'm a reader, so anytime somebody says they read, it gets me going a bit. Do you read fiction or do you read like a lot of academic sort of books?
I think I read like self-help books, like if you want to stay motivated. So for example, I think earlier this year I was reading Atomic Habits.
No. I'm cancelling you. One of your standard achievements was scoring 100% in accounting 2B for the entire semester. Mind-blowing. What strategies or study habits helped you master such a challenging subject?
I think firstly, accounting has always been my favorite subject from high school. I think I always just spend a lot of time practicing accounting. But I think in university specifically, what really helped me is discipline, #1. And #2, I think as students, we tend to think slides are sufficient.
Yep.
So there's a reason, I always tell myself there's a reason why there's the prescribed textbook. So I think in accounting 2B, I use the textbook a lot. I wish I could still go back to that because it really helped me. But yeah, I use the textbook a lot, but also consulting. So what I do is that if after doing the slides and the textbook, so I attempt questions, timing myself. Then I mark myself strictly. And I was telling my friend actually the other day that when I mark myself and when I read my answer, my question is always like, if someone who didn't know me would read this, would they give me the mark? So that is always my strategy. So then if there's any learning gaps from there, from marking myself and reflecting, then I go and consult with the lectures. And speaking about reflecting actually, so my lectures always emphasize this a lot. So after attempting my papers, I reflect on what I got wrong and what I got right.
Right, what was challenging while you were doing the paper,
So sometimes as students, like you get something right, but it was all because of luck when you're attempting the paper. So you want to ask yourself, did I get this because I know it, or did I get it because of luck.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that kind of reflection. And then if you got something wrong, you ask yourself, why did I get it wrong? What did the memo say versus what I said? If you still don't understand, then I consult.
Then you consult your lecturer. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. And already you're giving tips and tricks, so I should imagine that you've done some tutoring, right? Yeah, you have taken on several mentoring and tutoring roles at the Department of Accountancy. Why is it important for you to support other students, particularly those who are a bit early in their academic journey?
I think it's definitely just being that one person you hoped you had in your first year. So I think that is why it's important for me, especially for first years. Giving that one advice or guiding someone.
Yes.
In a way that you wish someone had guided you if you were in your first year. But at the same time, I think tutoring goes both ways.
Yeah.
So when you tutor someone, you actually learn yourself. So with me, the reason why I always tutor like a lower grade is because then I always know that at least I'm still fine with my foundations, because then whatever I do in the subsequent years, it's still
based on that
based
foundation.
On the same foundation.
Yeah.
So I think that is why it's important.
Yeah, and you get to learn yourself as well when you're tutoring someone and teaching someone. All right, let's speak all things Abasa, which, like I said, I first heard about it at the launch of the Wiseman Kutlu Center. First of all, what does Abasa stand for, if you know from the top of your head?
So it's Advancement for Black Accountants of South Africa.
Beautiful
So
stuff.
then, I think also the very interesting thing about Abasa, that it was founded by a white person, but it's for the advancement of black accountants. So it was founded because back in the days there were very minimum black accountants in the profession. So then it was to advance for more black accountants to be in the profession.
Yeah, and as the chairperson for Abasa, you've helped grow the membership from just over 600 to nearly 1,300 students. What leadership approach has helped you to build such a strong engagement with the organization?
I think it's definitely number one, collaboration. I think I referenced that from Prof's book. So you can't do it alone as a chairperson. So I think also communicating with your team members. So what I did is that my team members, by the time we were planning, they already knew that my target was 1,000 members, but obviously we surpassed that. So number one, communicating my expectations to my team members, but also working with them, because we know a lot of different people and we have different strategies that we can come up with. So collaborating on the strategies that we can come up with to recruit members. But at the same time, I think the other thing that really assisted us is working closely with the Department of Accountancy, because that is where our main members come from, which is accounting student. Then we also collaborated with Standard Bank. So obviously, students love goodies, so we had to. So they sponsored us and they gave us goodies. So then during our recruitment, that was basically the catch for them.
Come and you'll get some Standard Bank
something. So basically,
goodies.
Overall, I think it's collaboration.
Yeah, all the time. Absolutely beautiful stuff. And you've introduced a couple of initiatives, right, which I believe are the Academic Relations Officer role and the 7 Minutes, 7 Corporate Firms event. What impact did these initiatives have on the students and their career opportunities? But before we get to that, what is that all about? What is 7 Minutes, 7 Corporate Firms?
7 Minutes, 7 Corporate Firms, it's just a creative name that we came up with. So basically we hosted 7 firms and we gave them 7 minutes to present. So that's how the name came up with. So we had Nedbank, Psycha, I think PwC, PKF, Octagon, and others. So, but then in total there were 7 firms. So each was dedicated 7 minutes to present to the students. So then these are firms that offer articles to the students. So then that's why we had them there to speak about the opportunities which are there within their firms, and also to speak about when do they open, how do they benefit the students. We also try to bring firms from different industries so that if a student wants to go to audit, they can hear more about what audit firms offer. If they want to go to banking, Nedbank was there to just sort of like to see if can they go to banking. And so I guess then those are the initiatives that, or the impact that it had on the students in picking their careers? I think the impact there was, audit firms allow us as accounting students to sign early in our university years. So you don't have to sign when you're done with your CTA or your postgrad. You can sign while you're still in your undergrad. So I had a student text me after I think 2 months after the 7 Minutes, 7 Corporate Firms, and they told me that they actually signed with one of the firms that were there. So I think that is the kind of impact, because when they come there, they come with QR codes for applications. The other student went to the NetBank's CASE program. So there's a CASE program offered by NetBank for accounting students, which is sort of like a vacation work program. Then the other students who attended the event was able to attend that CASE program. So I think that's the kind of impact.
100%. It's creating opportunities for a lot of the students. That's beautiful. And by the way, so now that you're done with your undergrad, you're going towards the BTC. What is it called? I know, because I had a friend who did it, and she was always complaining like, the BTC, what? I'm like, oh my gosh. So how's that going for you?
I think for now I'm still trying to find my feet, but it is a lot of work, and it does require you to just always be up to date and keep up with your work and just know what's going on in all modules, and also just try to find, so I'm trying to find the balance between all 4 modules.
Do you have time for social life at all, or like it's just books?
Honestly, no. Honestly, no, because during weekends it's time to catch up. It's very hard to balance them.
Yeah. Alrighty. Now, looking ahead, you are currently, of course, the vice president of Golden Key UJ. What are your aspirations for the future, both professionally in the accounting field and as a leader making a difference in your community?
I think professionally, I'm already signed with a public audit firm. So that is my aspiration. So when I'm done with my postgrad next year, PG does next year. So that is my aspiration, to just start my articles, my accounting articles or audit articles. Then leadership-wise, I think once I'm done with my postgrad next year, I also want to do academic articles. So basically, if you're doing City A, you have 1 year to an option to do 1 year academic articles. So I think that, but I also want to be more involved in Abasa from a Joburg branch perspective. Okay. So the student chapters are basically managed by Joburg branch, which is an Abasa branch as well. So I think I want to be active there from now.
Yeah, no, that is absolutely beautiful stuff. Lisakhanya, thank you so very much for chatting with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Alrighty, and that's all that we have for you today. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and all that good stuff.